people. Yeah, I'm in a different scene, hey? You can all look and be like wondering what is happening here, you know? My name is Tendai Maroa. Welcome to Incite with Tendai. And it is the episode finale. And today I decided to have the special guests. As you can see, these familiar faces. I'm sure you know who they are. Does it ring a bell? Yes, the buzz, guys. I couldn't leave this episode or end it without the ladies from the buzz. I'm sure most of you watch it on Honey TV, and today I had the opportunity to have the ladies to join me, and we're bringing all the drama, the fun, the tears, the laughter at this episode finale. I had to say it nicely and slowly so that you guys understand this is the final episode. So girls, these ladies, they don't need no introduction. They're going to introduce themselves and tell you what is the one word that defines them. And here we go. We're going to start with you, ma'am.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, okay. Hello, my name is Rachel Wakesho. I am a mommy, a content creator, and just the girl next door. So the word that defines me is this year, I think I would say transition. There's been a lot of changes in my life, in the world, and just how I went through it and how I came out of it. The transitioning is what has been resonating with me, because I always look back and I'm like, wow, so this chapter of my life, as in I went through and I got out and we're still here. Especially the times that we're living in, it's a bit difficult to even have hope or, you know, look forward for tomorrow. But if you know that sometimes with change comes strength and, you know, better things, yeah, it gives you a better perspective of life. So yeah, that's me.
Transition.
Okay, my name is Pearl Umeh. I'm a good girl. And, okay, one word to describe me, I would like to say I'm a movement.
Hey, yes.
You know, I'm a
Movement.
Hey,
movement.
We together. Okay, yeah, I'll say I'm a movement. I've had a lot of curveballs thrown at me this year, but I was able to keep it moving, not dwelling on anything for too long. It happens, I move. That's her.
That's her. Movement. So transition, movement. And you?
Hi guys, my name is Davina Mahua. I am a mom, a wife, a brand. I think that kind of defines me to a certain extent. I'm a TV presenter. I'm a media personality. I'm loud.
I'm proud.
I'm proud.
Yes.
Right.
The diva of the house.
And the word to describe me for this year, it has to be self-discovery.
Wow.
I think this year I have discovered my strength. I have discovered my power. I have discovered I have seen kind of peeked into my purpose. I think I'm starting to see it. I've questioned for so long, why am I here? Like, I get it. Like, am I just here to be a wife or a mom or to work or whatever it is? But I've always believed that I've been put on this earth for a bigger purpose. I've started to see it. I've started to discover a little bit of why God put me here. So this year has been that self-discovery for me. So for the next years to come, watch out.
So we have transition, movement, and self-discovery. I love those the way you guys defined yourself, because you were in a season of transition, you were in a season of movement, no matter what challenges you faced. You were in a season of rediscovering yourself, you know. Not just seeing yourself as a wife or a mother. But for me, I want to drop a question before we even get into the questions that the team has given us. I don't even know what's But for me, what is the greatest lesson that you have learned this year? It can be anything. It can be personal, it can be through the show, it could be through your career journey. What is the greatest lesson that you'd like to share?
I would say don't take anything or anyone for granted. I shared this funny story actually on Instagram, and I was busy at lunch with my auntie, and she's one of those people who no pictures, no nothing. So my auntie, please, a photo. Then she's like, no, ask those people. It's an old couple with a camera. Like, when this proper traveling people, they come from abroad, they've come to Africa, they're taking pictures, and they're old, it's a cute couple. And then I'm like, and then she's like, hi, yeah, my niece, she wants to take photos. This guy was taking photos of me, and his hands were shaking, right? So I'm like, these photos, I'm just being polite. So I said, thank you so much for the photos. And then he's like, no, I think you should have a look before I go.
Yes.
And then I looked, and guys, this guy, I'm like, whoa, like, how did you do this? He like changed the settings on my phone. He just took my phone. It's like, no, it's basically settings. I'm like, are you a photographer? I thought you said you were just doing this for fun. Because he was like, no, I'm just, we're just traveling and taking photos. Like, yeah, but I'm an enthusiast. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm relearning not to take situations and people for granted. Because, guys, this life and this year, this situation that we've been living in has showed us, guys, if you want to do something, do it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's also like, don't judge a book by its cover.
Exactly.
Just because the man was shaking, you're now doubting the quality of the picture.
Yeah.
And Buddhas checking him out. Then you saw how he's doing the things.
Yeah.
Surprised you, made you look like $1 million.
Guys. We even changed venues because like, do you want to do an indoor shoot situation? I'm like, yes, please. Yes, you can do it. Yes, so I think you also get humbled by the fact that and life keeps teaching me this. Remember, you can always learn from somebody.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're higher in position. It doesn't matter if it could be the person sweeping. They can teach you something.
Yeah.
So always be open to just listening and discovering and
True. And you?
Okay, for me, it's more like I should stop expecting myself from people, because I tend to assume that people should just be a certain way, and I have realized that not everybody is going to be that way, and it's okay. They're their own people. They have their experiences that have shaped them to be what they're not. So, for instance, I can take any joke. Throw any joke at me, I take it, I can laugh it all, but not everybody can take a joke.
yeah.
And so if I try to joke and someone is not taking the joke, I'm looking at you like, yo, why are you such a party pooper? Why are you so sensitive? Like, you should be able to laugh it off. But I need to understand that not everyone is me.
Yeah.
And people are different. I need to respect differences, acknowledge our differences, but respect it and be okay with it, because that's it for. And also I've learned to be more tolerant, more patient. I used to kid myself that I was a very tolerant person and patient person, but people have really tested me. And I found out the way I react, sometimes when I introspect, I'm asking myself, why did I react that way? What triggered me, you understand? And then I just learned that it's all stupid stuff, things that you could just, it's not supposed to be a big deal, so why are you making a big deal out of it? So it has made me to be more tolerant of people, more patient with people, to say, the level you're at, or at a particular time, not everybody's on that level. And I don't mean that in a condescending way. Your wavelength and someone's wavelength may not be the same, so you need to be tolerant. And the fact that you know some things doesn't mean everybody knows. So at some point also, I didn't know those things. I learned them. So be patient with people. That's basically what I've learned for this year.
And setting boundaries. Setting boundaries is also important. You gotta know where you draw the line. You can't be yes to anybody.
No, I'm not yes to nobody.
Like,
But I'm learning to be tolerant, to say yes, in as much as this is not okay with you. I don't have to force it down on you that you must be okay with it because I'm okay with it. It's okay to be different and to respect that this person isn't like that.
yeah.
That's it, basically.
Madame.
So I've got to, so I've actually been running through my head like, okay, I gotta pick one. Okay, I gotta pick one.
Oh, there's many.
I think for me, one of the biggest lessons I think I've learned is I'm not everybody's savior. Ooh. I'm not here to fix nobody's problems. I've only got 2 kids, right? Like,
As you told me today.
Yeah, I shouldn't be hunting for a 3rd kid. I shouldn't be I shouldn't be like, oh my God, you have a problem. Are you okay? Okay, so I'm gonna turn around and come for you now, like, because I'm that person. You know, I'm generally this. Everyone around me is, you know, it doesn't matter who it is. If there's an issue, yes, I'm there. You know, I'm burning fuel. I'm late for my meeting because but I was needed, and so I needed to just chat. You know, so yeah, and I'm always making a plan for other people. So I think one of my biggest lessons this year has been, no, you've got 2 kids. And that's a boundary that I need to set in place and remind myself. And the biggest reminder I keep telling myself is, but you only push 2. Like, this is parental duty right here. Like, picking someone up at a certain time, that's a parental duty. Like, if I'm not at school at a certain time, that's something that I must speak into and say, you know, I'm sorry I'm late, or can she go to aftercare, or whatever. Anything else, not that I shouldn't be there for people, but I must draw the line. I can't, I'm not a savior, I'm not Jesus. Jesus came, he did his thing, so, you know.
I need a sip, yes. Came and did his thing, hallelujah.
I'm just saying, why is that funny?
He came and did his thing.
That's it. Jesus came, he did his thing. I can't be Jesus. You know, I'm not a savior. I've also got my own struggles, because I also realized then that, see, once it makes you upset, or after you've done this thing for other people, you come home and then I vent to my poor husband, you know, and I'm like, you will not believe what she just put me through. You know, but no, he's always like, but no, babes, you said yes, right? Like, you said yes. So you had a choice right there. So you should be mad at yourself, you know, and in that realization, like, no, but I'm the problem here, you know? And I think someone said to me, actually my therapist said to me, you keep trying to fill a void. You have this position, let's say you're the HR of Davina, you have this position of some needy child, something that's there, and you keep rotating it with different people. Like you're very good, I'm very good at cutting people out of my life. Like, okay, I'm done with you, you've used me enough. But then I just find somebody else who uses me quite the same. So you must just shut this position down. We are no more hiring for this needy position. It's done. Because I keep rotating it in and out, in and out. So that's been my biggest lesson. Like, the position is closed.
It's closed. She's retired.
Yeah.
No more needy people. You must know. In that, I can relate, because I was just highlighting the boundaries. Because do you think it's also from childhood where it was all like, if I am the one who's always helping people, I look like a good person. So when I say no, I look like a bad person. Was that part of the reason of the no? It makes you look like she's bad, she's a horrible person. Because the no is difficult. Just to say no on itself. Though it's a simple word, but it's so difficult to just say no to even the closest person and say no.
I think it's also, so for me, it's from how I was raised.
Yeah.
We've had so many, there's no cousin of mine who hasn't passed through our house, right? So to see my mom taking on, she always took on. Someone died, okay, their kids must come, like, you know, oh, sure, you know. So we were never just, and we already were 5 kids, but we were never just the 5 of us. I shared a bedroom with my sister and my 2 sisters, you know. We had a 5-bedroom house, but I never had my own room, because it was just, someone's here, oh, you know, and it's not a bad thing, but that's how, because I was raised like that, it's
culture.
It's innate in me to there's a problem, you must solve it, you know, and it's trauma. It's trauma in a way, you know, where you don't understand that no is a full sentence, right? And you don't feel bad. You say no and then you justify it, and then I'm now like, oh, but Rachel, I said no. You think, you know, it's gonna come back and bite me, you know? You said no because you are drinking your coffee. Like, your coffee is gonna get cold. If you don't have your coffee, you can't work. So, you know, or whatever it is. So I think it's that, and it's everybody has traumas. You know, we all have childhood traumas of some sort that we all need to deal with because they've made us into the people that we are today. Some of them good, some of them bad. You know, whether it's your parents, you grew up in a two-parent home, but your parents never talked. So you don't know how to speak to your spouse. You know how to live in the same space, and you know how to not get out, but you don't know how to communicate. Because you never grew up seeing that. Or I grew up seeing my parents as such big talkers. We write letters in my house, you know, dear mom and dad, I'm feeling a certain way. But I married somebody who's not like that. Like, I write him letters all the time and he's just like, oh, yes, what's all this? You can't just say, you know, like, guys talk, you know? He's got emails unopened. I've been sending him emails for the last 13 years, you know?
He has not opened
No, he's just like, babe, is there a problem?
I'm your husband.
What is the email? Seriously? Like, what is it, you know? But for me, my family is like, if you have something to say and it's deep, sometimes you need to write it out so that, you know, your feelings are on paper and whatever. But to him, it's like, she's crazy. Like, she goes again.
Yeah. Sure. Wow. You know the reason why I brought it, because we are the way we are because of either traumas or culture, the way we're raised, and we get so consumed and aligned to it. And now when you want to shift and rediscover yourself out of that, it takes time because it's been in your system for quite some time. So well done to breaking that force and saying, no, I'm done. I've retired from that position. I am not Jesus. I am Davina. So I am going to do the things that I need to do for me. You know, in that capacity. If I can help, I can help. If I can't, I can't. So yeah. And now we're getting into this dangerous situation that we've been waiting for, and I was never ready. So I don't know what's in here, what's cooking.
Okay.
I don't know what ingredients.
But you know it's dangerous.
Yeah. So, I'm going to pass it on to the diva of the house, Davina. She's going to start, and then we are going to follow. She's going to lead this because, hey, I'm a spices now.
You guys know, like, the disclaimer, I'm married, I've got in-laws, like, you can't put things in here that I have to pick it. You know what I mean? Like, it's Christmas, I have to sit at the table, like, guys, like, who did this? Pick it up. Okay.
What's the question?
I just said I've got in-laws, eh?
Yeah.
In a relationship, do you prefer 50-50 or do you believe a man should provide the whole 100%? I heard that, girl. You know what? For me, it's neither. I think my relationship is a partnership.
Wow, I love that.
There's never one day where we sat down and said, you take this bill, I'll take this one. We don't work like that, right? I think I've said it on the show. We actually have the corporation of the Mahuas, which is the two of us, or the family, where any income that comes into the household kind of sits in this place. And then, you know, we pay bills out of it, we put investments out of it. Those are the discussions we have. Where are we investing? What's happening? Have you heard about this? I think we should look into this code of financial. Those things are the discussions that we have. A certain amount of money comes out of that, and we do investments, we do savings, we pay the school fees, we do what needs to be done. And then those that spend. You know, like, there's never like, I never have to feel like, I don't know, there's no like 50-50 to it. There's no, 75-25 to it. There's no like, I mean, I know every penny that comes into our household. Randomly, my husband would be like, "Oh, I got a check from da 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 da, and I put it in your account for you. You know, it's yours." He wants to do, he must do what he wants
Yes,
to
I
do.
receive. Ching, ching,
whatever.
ching. Yeah.
But so I don't believe in that. I don't believe in the 50%, and I've been blessed to be in this situation. God forbid anything happen, and I, you know, am in another situation in my life. I don't know what would happen in that. But for this situation that I'm in, it works out so perfectly. He's in charge of the bills. I'm in charge of spending. Like it's just
that.
it just happens, you know. Like once in a while we'll be like, "Oh, the guys over there at Edgar's really have all your money, eh?" Whatever it is, you know. So, but just, you know, sometimes he'll be like, "Oh, babes, I think tone down just a little bit, you know, whatever." That's how we work. So I don't see it that way, and I know a lot of people don't agree with that or don't really do it that way. But I've never had reason to suspect him or reason to be like, this man is taking me for a ride, or you know, I mean, we have proper savings, we have proper investments, we have proper like, you know, life savings or life investment. I'm saying, you know, like, babes, if you die first, just make sure the insurance.
Done and sorted.
Yeah, you know, so we.
But do you think also because of the way your relationship as well before you got married?
100%.
Because also the finances and stuff, for some people they're very comfortable to talk about it while they're dating. It started before the marriage came in.
100%.
Yeah.
Like we've always been friends. Like we're more friends than we are lovers. You know, like my husband and I don't sit there like rubbing on each other's eyes, like looking into each other's eyes. Like that's just not the relationship we have. You know, like sure, are we physical? Yeah, it's like you know, you watch the buzz and you be like, oh my god, babe, you embarrassing me, dude. Like, why are you like this? You know, those are the conversations we have. You know, like our life is. So he's more of a friend, and he's always been a friend. And I think that's always my advice in you know, I'm not like a relationship guru, but I'm always like, if you marry your friend, marriage is long. And marriage is hard, you know?
Taking some notes, guys.
And it's in-laws, you know? It's you need to be with somebody that you can also be like, hey, but your mom's wigs. You know, you need to be able to be at this place where there's a friendship more than anything, because sometimes he doesn't look sexy, you know. Sometimes I'm not looking at him like that because you actually piss me off, you know. And there has to be a balance for us to be. So what are we talking about? How are we talking? You know, like when we take away the sex. If we remove sex from the table, how do we talk?
Yes.
And so that's the thing for me. I think it's because we've had a friendship, and because we've had that friendship, we can talk about. Money's not an awkward conversation for us. Right? Like, you know, I don't have to be like, so, you know, you got a promotion, how much are you getting paid now, you know? Or whatever, like, I just don't. It's just, everything is out there. It's like, oh, my boss called me, there's a promotion in the works, but, you know, first things first, you know, it says this much, and I'll be like, babes, you must go negotiate for more, like, they want you, so you must tell them if you want me, like, you know, those are the conversations we have, but it's because we're friends.
Yeah,
you know, we're friends, we bounce. He doesn't need to call his boys and be like, what would you do if you were me? Would you take this money? Because we had the discussion in the house already. You know, this is where his friend is. So the friendship for me is 100%. Yeah.
I love that. Because you know what, just before we go to the next question is, all of you are the married ones and I'm not. So it's nice to actually see it on a different lens. Like how is it when, you know, when you get into that element, the 50-50. Because the culture, power couple, what does that mean? Behind the scenes as a power couple. Does that mean it's a 50-50 situation? Or is it because he's the provider and you're spending? You know what I mean? There's different diversity because there are some people who are the influencers on Instagram.
Yeah.
But then the finances are being sponsored by the husband. I'm gonna unpack it. And then there's the other side where the woman is the one that hustles. She's the provider. She's the one that works, you know, and the guy is chilled at home running his businesses, but he doesn't earn as much as the woman, you know what I mean? And then there's now where it's two people who are earning good money, they're working together, but then one will say, yeah, you still have to provide 70%. It's not going to be 50-50. You see, so there's that element where marriage, it's different, you know?
It's different, and it also changes from a position where when we were dating, we were both working, like it was just a normal thing. And then I fell pregnant, and then I was having a terrible time, so we decided, okay, maybe stay at home, and then maybe we start our small business. But at that point, I was majorly not making as much as he was, right? I was just starting out my business. So, but it never got to a point where I feel like, I can't say anything, or because I'm not making that much, because there is something called a non-monetary contribution.
Yes.
You know, especially like at home and stuff. Things that you wouldn't be like, so you didn't get a paycheck for this, but you were doing this. You understand? So, and there's a lot of you know, and there's a lot of situations. And it can work both ways. It could be the woman who is working, and then the man is at home trying to start a business, or there's an idea. But the most important thing is both of you need to be on the same page. I couldn't just up and leave my job and say, hey, I've left. No, it's a discussion. It's a discussion for months. Okay, so if you leave your job, what are the repercussions? What are we going to do now? Is it going to be enough to still sustain us, and enough for us to put in capital for this business and this venture that you want to do? If you guys are on the same page, then that's it. Because it shouldn't be ever a situation whereby it could be like, well, I'm working. We had that conversation. And that's why speaking about money is very important, and talk about it in full length. Because he shouldn't be quiet that you're leaving your job, or, you know, life happens, motherhood happens, things happen. Don't be quiet. I think the more you talk about it, the easier it gets. Like, okay, now we've left the job and this is, but we're stuck here. What are we going to do? Both of you sit down. It doesn't matter if now it's the woman who's on top sponsoring her life or whatever. So long as you guys are in the same page, everything will flow seamlessly. Whether both of you are making money, whether somebody is staying at home, so in that relationship, no one should feel like they're being taken for a ride. Then everybody's winning.
Your perspective, because I can see you're like, And also, when you're done with your opinion, do you think it's necessary when you're dating to know your man's income? When you're now taking it to marriage?
No, I don't think so. I don't think.
You don't want to know.
Respectfully, I don't think it's your business.
Until you have the ring on it.
Until you're serious, you guys are sure that you're taking this further.
Okay.
So I meet a man today.
For those that interrogate sneakers with their paycheck, please.
Why would you? To me, that's a red flag.
Well,
if you're so interested in what I'm earning, I'm just dating you. Like we met when we're trying to get to know each other, and you're asking me about my paycheck. I'm running away from you.
Even his salary, because remember there's some that get his salary, allowance.
I'm trying to think about this question.
I personally think it's none of your business, except he wants it to be your business. He wants to share with you. But I don't think it's something you should begin to ask a man that you just meet and you're dating and you're not even sure where he's going to take and go from here to be that interested in how much he's earning. It's not your business. 1, 2, if he decides to disclose, that's okay. I hear what you're saying, and I know that people discuss finances, especially when you're married. Culturally, like in my parents' time in Nigeria, we don't necessarily have that conversation. So a man is seen as the head of the family. He's seen as a provider, so he's expected to provide. However he provides, you don't know, but he does his thing. A woman is supposed to take care of the home. So you have the values that both of you bring to the table. You can't have a man who's just you can't have a man who's just putting in money and then you're sitting at home doing nothing. he's also going to come home and tell you, yo, I need my food. You must provide food because he has given you the money to do that. So it's like women they have their own values that they bring to the table in taking care of the home, and the man goes out, he's the breadwinner. That's what we call them, the breadwinner, to bring in money. Now, also we know, I'm not ignorant of the fact that sometimes the man may not be where he's at, where he wants to be at financially, and the woman is doing better. But in those cases, it's whoever has a higher purchasing power, like whoever has more income, that tends to foot more of the bills. It's something that you decide between each other. It's your business in-house, what you choose to do. So if I'm any more than my husband, I can decide to take up more bills than he does. Even if he's earning way more than me and he's taking care of all bills, I can decide that, okay, a DSTV, water, I want to pay for that. Yeah. Let me help you, I want to contribute. Because in as much as Nigeria is we're very cultural, we're also religious. So we see women as helpmates, not as, it's not exactly a partnership, kind of, but more like you're helping someone who should be the main, but you're also a helper to him. That is the traditional style. So most of us are getting woken now to say, yo, that doesn't, you know, relate. I don't relate with that. I can bring in my own, he can bring in his own. But traditionally, a man does most of the finances. So you find out that most times in marriages, before we get married, we don't discuss income. Already the man knows he's the one taking care of most of the things. When he needs your help, if he cannot meet up things, then he calls for your help if you're working. But it's also advice for women to work in case if he dies today, how do you keep up with the family? That's where I'm at.
You need to still pay stuff. You wanted to say something?
Yeah, I think, guys.
Yeah, I need to see where is the money coming in.
I think at some point, I must know like exactly what you do and exactly how much you earn. Can you afford this lifestyle?
When you're not married to the person, dating.
100% dating.
Okay.
When we start,
she says no.
When if we're starting to get beds, I'm not gonna date somebody.
I think when you're starting to get serious.
Yeah, because I personally, in the dating life that I've had, okay. At times when I did date for fun, so let's say but once I stopped dating for fun, then I've got serious questions to ask you. Because my kids must go to a private school. That's not negotiable.
And you have a certain lifestyle, Nick.
So if you can't keep up to the standard, then how much do I love you? Do I see the potential? Your potential, where is it? Am I helping you to apply for new jobs? Am I helping you to negotiate? Because I'm not taking my child. Like
let me try to streamline what you're saying. Yeah. I'm not saying that when we meet you must have a certain level of money. Like if it's not these zeros, I'm not taking you. No. For me, it's more of potential, right? Fine. Okay, so you don't have this much. Okay, but you studied, né? You have a degree. You have ambition. The more I talk to you, the more I get to know you, right? Secondly, with that, I wouldn't want to know a specific amount or something, but I would actually start telling with how you handle your money. I think that for me is very important. Yeah. You can have all the zeros that I need in my life, but you can't even handle a whole month. What have you been doing with the money? How did it go? You guys went out at Cubana too many bottles, then the money is finished. So how you manage your money for me is more important than how much you earn. Yeah. Secondly, the one thing I would also like to say, and you mentioned this one day, is your credit score. Are you blacklisted? It's very important. Why? Because now when you start getting into marriages and stuff and you want to financially have bigger assets and stuff, you know that's going to be a problem, right? I mean, now we're woke. We're speaking as woke individuals, right? So if you know that that's going to affect it, and I'm not saying if he's blacklisted, you must dump him. No, guys. Try and make it better. See what you need to do to better yourselves. Because I believe when you're in a relationship, you're bringing something, I'm bringing something, right? So if you're doing well, you're successful, but you have this thing, we need to get rid of it so we can keep moving. So it's just how you manage your funds is a very important.
I mean, there's a lot of things.
Everyone's answers are relevant. I'm not even saying right or wrong because everyone's got their own perspective. Like with you, I can relate about how, you know, the breadwinner, my dad was the breadwinner. Yeah. So my mom was the spoiled one. Whatever she needed, she got, you know. work was not like an importance to her. She wanted to work, she would work, you know. She lives the life. If she wanted to travel, she was that, you know. So I saw that. But then what I didn't like about that situation, it was like always getting that allowance. You know, you get it and then you go back, you get it and you get it, and then how do you become your own woman? Do you understand? When he's gone, how are you going to plan? So when he died, mom had to now face the reality of how to actually now take care of herself. So then I told myself, no, independence, I'm going to study it, I'm going to learn how to be independent, and that's me. So now when I have that partner, I want that partnership, like what you have, you know, that whole like 50-50. I think I'll be more 50-50 than breadwinner. I'm not there yet. Maybe it might be different, but I like the 50-50. I'm all for 50-50.
This topic is frustrating for us.
Yeah. No, I actually like to relax and be taken care of. So
Okay.
if you can sponsor me and I don't have to spend my money, that's good.
Put your legs
Who am I
up
to say no?
Mary, yes.
Ish, this looks long.
Is it long? The question, hey, my daughter, this team is putting us on a serious one, eh?
It's an essay.